Hello everybody, welcome to a new video by Technopeople, and in this video I will be showing you guys some more types of HTML inputs. So in this video I will be covering radio buttons, checkboxes, URLs, colors, files, dates, emails, and range inputs. Alright, so here I have the code which I used for my previous video, which was part 1 of my HTML form series. So in my part 1 video I showed you the basic form tag in HTML and how to add simple inputs for it. And in the previous video I showed you 4 kinds of inputs: the text input, the number input, password, and button inputs. Alright, so I will just show you what input I got for my previous video, and this was it. So I have 4 separate fields in which I can type my input, and we also have a button which gives me an alert when I click it. Alright, great, and I'll just be modifying it so that it displays more kinds of inputs. Alright, so before we start, I will tell you guys to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive the latest updates about my new videos. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So I have left 2 lines here, and my next input is gonna be the radio buttons. Alright, so radio buttons are basically circular buttons which when selected will be highlighted with a color, and only one of the group of radio buttons can be selected. Alright, so I'll just start with an input tag of type radio. We want radio, just like text, number, password, we're gonna type radio. Please don't type radio button, it's radio. And the name of it, I want it to be group. Alright, and I'm also gonna assign an ID to it. So the ID of it is gonna be equal to choice 1. Alright, and finally I'm also gonna add a value to it. The value of it is gonna be, say, option 1. Alright, great, and I'm also gonna add a label to this so that the user knows what they're clicking on. So I will just add a label to this. So the label is gonna be for the ID of this input, which is gonna be choice 1. Alright, so choice 1. I'll just paste that here, and the label for it is gonna be I like HTML. Just add an emoticon there. Alright, so I like HTML is my first radio button. I will just copy that and I'll paste it twice more for my 2 more radio buttons. So I will just modify things here. The type is going to be the same. I'll just change the IDs to choice 2 and choice 3, and the name is going to be the same because each of the radio buttons belong to a common group, so the name has to be the same, otherwise things won't be proper. So I'm going to also change this to op2 and op3. Alright, great, and I will also change the for attribute. So this is gonna be for choice 2 and this is gonna be for choice 3, and the label is gonna be also different. I do not like HTML, and the last one I think is gonna be neutral. I do not know. Alright, so those are my 3 radio buttons, and I'll just run that. And I'll just add some extra lines between these just to make it look good. Alright, so BR tags, it's an empty tag to leave lines. Okay, great. We'll just add 1 more there. I will save it and I'll just run it again. And you see 3 radio buttons here. And notice that we click on this, and if we click on this, it changes. So only 1 value can be selected at a time. Okay then, great. Let's go on to the second type of input. Now it's gonna be checkboxes. So the only difference between checkboxes and radio buttons are that in radio buttons only 1 value can be selected, while in checkboxes more than 1 value can be selected. But it's more or less the same. So I will just copy this whole bit of code and I'll paste it again for checkboxes. Oh my god, I don't know what is what, so I will just add a comment over there. Comments in HTML are used to give any kind of code which won't be run in the web browser. So that will be initiated by an angular bracket, an exclamation mark, and 2 hyphens. And we want the comment to end over here. So I will just take another 2 hyphens and I will close with another angular bracket. So inside I will just type checkbox. Alright, so that's just a partition. And I'm going to change the type now. It's going to be checkbox. Checkbox. That's what I want it to be, checkbox. And I will just change these two to checkbox. That's also gonna be checkbox. Okay, great. And the ID is gonna be choice, say 4. That's gonna be 5. And the final one is gonna be 6. Alright, so the name, I'm gonna just change it. And the name is not necessary because checkboxes are like multiple inputs which are going to be accepted, so the name need not be the same. So the first one is going to be input 1, and I'll just change that to input 2. I'll just change that to input 2, and the final one is going to be input 3. Input 3. Alright, great. And the value also I'm going to change to op4, op5, and op6. Alright, great. And after that I'm also gonna change the labels. So this is gonna be for choice 4, this is gonna be for 5, this is gonna be for 6. Alright, so here I'm gonna add some checkboxes, and before that I will just add a heading here as a question for the input. So a h2 there. So the h2 is gonna be what do you like? Alright, and the first value is gonna be basketball. Second one is gonna be football. Okay, and the third one is gonna be tennis. Okay, so I will save that and I shall run it. Just refresh that. And I see my checkboxes here. Okay, great. So I see my 3 checkboxes, and if you see here, the value changes. So only one can be selected in radio buttons, while in checkboxes more than one can be selected. So I like all 3 of the codes, so I selected all 3. Alright, so great, even my checkboxes work. We are done with 2 of our inputs. I'll be showing you the rest, which are really simple and easy to understand. URLs are also like text. I'll show you them anyways. So I will add under type of, I'll just add on the comment URLs. I'll close that. Alright, great. A new type of input here. So input. So the input type is going to be URL, as simple as that. And the name of it is going to be also URL. We'll just add that with the caps. And I'm gonna also assign an ID. So the ID of it is gonna be equal to user URL. Alright, great. So I will just run that, save and run. I closed my web page. Alright, and yes, I see my URL which can be typed here. So I will just take this URL. I know it's a file path, but it's also a valid URL. Okay, amazing. So that's our URL box, and I will just add a label to it. Alright, a label for that. So that was really simple, wasn't it? So the label is gonna be for, the ID is user URL. Alright, and the label is gonna be type your URL below. Alright, so that is my URL box. I'll just add an extra line over there. Save. I'll run it. And great. I see my URL box here with type your URL below. Alright, so that was really simple. And the next one is really interesting. So here it's an input where the user can select a color. Or color picker will be displayed, and the user can select their own color. Okay, so I will add on the comment there after leaving 2 lines. So a comment there which says color input. So this is just to tell you guys what is what. Alright, so the color input there, great. And we start with an input tag of type color, and the name is also gonna be color, and the ID is gonna be color too. Color. Alright, great. Now I'll save that, and before that I will just add a label to that too. Label is gonna be for the ID, which is color. For color, I think the ID should be different than type, so I'll just add a 1 to that, for color 1, and it's gonna be choose your favorite color. Alright, great. So I will save that and I shall run it again. And you see here that I have a color picker here, choose your favorite color. If I click on this button, it gives me an RGB value, so I can type my RGB values here, like something like that. And this is gonna be something different. Alright, so that is my color, and I can also, it's quite interactive. You can drag this around and this around, choose your color. For now, my favorite color is deep red. Alright, so I will just save that. So that's my favorite color. You can choose any other color if you want. For example, this color. Alright, so it was really exciting. Alright, so I will just minimize that, and I will show you the next type of input, which is a file. So a file should be uploaded over there in this case. Alright, so I will add 2 lines again. Leave 2 lines and a comment saying files. Alright, great. And after that, I'm gonna also add a label. So after that, an input. Okay, so the input type is gonna be now file, just file, and the name is gonna be file1, and the ID is also gonna be file1. Alright, so file1. Sorry about that. Alright, so great, and the label is gonna be for file1, which is the ID, and the label is gonna be insert a file. Great, so I will save that, and I'll just refresh this web page, and I will see file input here, insert a file, no file chosen. So if I click on this interactive button here, it opens my file explorer, and I can like insert any kind of file I want. So this is the file I'm gonna be inserting. Alright, great. I will just close that, and I will open my code again, and here we have dates, emails, and ranges. So the last one, ranges, are gonna be really interesting to look at. We'll just finish dates and emails real quick. So I'll just copy paste that, just add 2 lines before that. Alright, so BR and BR. Okay, great. And I'll also add a comment there, date. Okay, so after that, I'm just gonna copy paste this to save time, because it's more or less gonna be the same. I'll just change this for to date1, because that's what I'm gonna be naming the ID as. Alright, so great. And after that, I'm gonna change the file type to date, and the name of the file is also gonna be date1. Alright, so great. And I'm just gonna insert my birth date here. Insert your day of birth here, or it's rather a date of birth. Alright, so great. I'm just gonna gonna save that, and I'll run it again. And wow, HTML is really interactive. So here I can insert my date of birth, and the most interesting thing is that you can click on this button here, and it will open a makeshift calendar for you. So my birth date is May 25th, 2007. May 25th, Just change the year over there. So interactive, May and 25th. So great, that's my birth date, and I have inserted that. Awesome. And the second final input is gonna be an email. I'll just copy paste the whole thing, and I shall modify things to save time again. So the email is also just like a text, so I will just rename that comment email, and I'm gonna name this email 1, which is what I'm gonna name my ID as, and the name is also gonna be email 1. Alright, great. So the type of this input is gonna be email. Awesome. And I will just save that, and wait a second, I forgot to rename this label here. Type your email below. Alright, so great. I'll save that and I'll refresh it again. I will see a text field here. Oh, sorry, the label tag was not supposed to be a label. Oh, great. I'll save that. I'll run it again. And I will see my email box here in which I can type my email. Alright, so that's my Gmail, which is email. Alright, great. So that is my input. And after that, we have our final type of input, which is the most interesting. It is the range input. Alright, so I will just copy paste the whole thing again. And just to tell you guys, the range input is special because it has 2 unique attributes to it. I'll just rename that as range. And it's gonna be for range 1, which is what I'm gonna name my ID as. Range 1. And it's gonna be of type range. So it's gonna be a range of numbers, and it's gonna be it's a scroll bar. Okay. So the name of it's also gonna be range 1. Alright, great. So I will just change this label here. How many say what? Come on. How many burgers do you want? Alright, so that's my number, and we have our 2 unique attributes for only the range type of input here, which are the min and the max attributes. So the minimum value is gonna be 1. So and the max is gonna be 10. The user can only order up to 10 burgers. Alright, so I will save that and I shall refresh it, or I'll run it again. And voila, you see an interactive scroll bar here, like which is for 1 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, so that is really interesting to look at. Alright, so that is my second set of inputs, and in the next video I will be showing you guys how to submit this form. Submit this form to a PHP site or your email. So a PHP site is a whole different branch of knowledge, which is really complicated and stuff. So I will just be showing you guys how to email the information to my email, or any email for that matter. So great. And yes, so that's the end of my video. Alright, so this is where I say goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe and have a good day. Goodbye. And one final thing, please feel free to ask any kind of doubts in the comments below. Alright guys, have a good day. Goodbye.